اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق وهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره مقدار العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. الحمد لله رب العالمين. أفضل صلاة وتم تسليما على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ورضي الله تعالى عن السادة التابعين علماء عاملين وأئمة أربعين مجتهدين مقلديهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to another The Soullutionz podcast. I am one of your hosts, Imam Muhammad Abdullah Ameen, along with Amir Khalil, Abdullahi, brother Saleh, Abdul Mujeeb, including a special sisters panel. Our topic today, we'll be discussing the roles of men and women. All right. And however, the topic, the role of men and women, we're actually talking about the role of men and women in Al-Islam and in our communities, in our development, in our growth, right? And that all of us, we have a particular part to play, a part to sustain in our growth as a community, as a family, as a jama'ah that are building a legacy. And whether we want to or we don't want to, we all have a part to play in leaving a legacy, because we're living in a time to where we're witnessing the decline of Islam in our practice. All right, the decline of Islam in our methods of dawah, in our methods of approaching the people, and maintaining our fortitude and fortification in our daily practice and lives. More importantly, what the roles of men and women are in regards to family, right? In our family, individual families or collective families, if we're a part of Jama'ah. Look like all of the sisters are on. Mr. Petty Draws just chimed in.
Mr. Petty Draws in the building. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling?
So we can we can kick it off. I see Sister Nasira on the panel. Mashallah. You know what I'm saying? You're not hiding today in the comments, Facebook user. All right. So, that was my little brief introduction.
Y'all hear me? I'm sorry.
My man Hassan over there. Hassan camera bombing. All right, so anybody, any of the sisters, y'all could introduce yourself, inshallah, and I'll mute my mic. Come on, don't be quiet now. Y'all's all talking chitter chatty in the group. Don't get camera shocked now.
Yeah, they get camera shocked when I'm in the building because I'm a G check them if they ain't doing nothing right. You heard?
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Hold on.
Nah. Well, we can hear you.
You can hear me? Hi. I'm Sister Sarah. Alhamdulillah. That's my introduction. I'm sorry.
Sister Sarah, where are you from?
I'm originally from Alabama, but since I
I'm trying
remarried,
to
I
share this
moved
file
here
to
to
group.
Philadelphia. I'm a
Okay.
country girl. Yeah.
So how do you like the second biggest city on the East Coast?
Honestly, it was a culture
She
shock
ain't,
because
she
I would
ain't,
think,
she ain't
yeah.
new. She ain't new to Philadelphia. It's just her second
I mean,
her
I've been here
second time
before.
living up here.
Yeah, but it's still a culture shock from where I'm from, though. I'm from a small country town, so where I'm originally from. But yeah, but I like it because I see a lot of Muslims, so I don't feel, you know, by myself. Yeah.
Okay. So, sisters, mommy, I couldn't really get a chance to see. I just promoted it. What is the conversation about, y'all? What are we talking about?
The roles of men and women.
Gender
Roles and men.
wars,
The
supposedly.
roles of men and
The
women.
roles of men and women.
Okay. Now
Sister
here go
Ameen,
the
I can't
question.
hear you.
So here go the question I got for my sisters, right? Right. And I want all of us to answer it, right? All of the sisters to answer it, right? If it's one thing, right? What is the one most important right that y'all have over the man that y'all are not going to bend and flex over?
Provisions, maintenance.
Provision, maintenance, and this is sister. What's your name again, sister? I'm sorry, Sarah.
Nisera.
Nisser. Okay.
Nesera.
I define
It's like
the provisions and maintenance. Define that.
Well, providing,
Hold
your
on. Is this
part.
not Sarah? Is this not Sarah that's in my Arabic class?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Oh, this the homie. Hey, I can't see
Yeah.
nobody. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. All right.
Hey,
Alhamdulillah.
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 Man, you
Um,
can't see nobody in your Arabic class, man. Stop playing.
No, but I know her picture though. And you know what I mean? So I know Nasira, the picture, you know what I mean? The little funny little thing that she got, the animated picture she got. But
yeah.
alhamdulillah, so I know that's her. But yeah, alhamdulillah. So you
Yeah.
said provision and maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
I
Abu
define
Muhammad said define it.
define provision and maintenance.
Paying, helping for rent, utilities, these type things. Um, and it's been an issue with a lot of sisters. And I get it. No, of course, we live in a time economics are not what they used to be. I get it. With the rise of increase on everything from rent, utilities, food, I get it. But to at least do something, being able to give something, and that comes from like being honest with what you can give it, and let the sister know. Say, listen, sis, I can give you 1,000 a month to take care of whatever needs taken care of, and let that sister decide if that's acceptable or not. But don't tell me, oh, I got you, I got you, I got you. But when it's time to have me, I'm floating around without a life support.
Yeah,
Seem
don't
like,
don't don't got me, get me.
yeah,
Don't got me,
and,
get me.
and please
I
don't
I
tell me
I
what
hate
you used to do back in
I
the day.
I I hate that term. I got you.
Yeah, because you don't,
I
because
hate
you.
that term. I got you because
Mm,
where I come from that term. I got you. It doesn't have a positive connotation to it. It has a negative connotation to it.
right,
Right.
right.
So if I got you, that mean I got you with your drawers down, and you gonna lower it like you owe it. I mean,
Mm,
it's gonna be an ambulance pickup, right? So that's why I hate that term. So I would always like if I would always like, man, I got it covered, or or you gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Everything is tight. You follow what I'm saying? Other than
Mm-hmm.
that word, I got you.
Right, and then just be like I said, just be honest. Like I said, if it's 500 or 600, 700, just be honest about it up front, and then let the sister decide if this is something she could, work with. Come up with a
Okay.
plan of action. But just like you said, just feeding me a smoke screen, telling me, "Oh yeah, I got it, I got you," and then like I said, when time to have it, oh, I ain't got it, I ain't got it, I ain't got it. So that leads to like, wait a minute, brother, you said you was able to do this. Well, I didn't say I could have said I had you. See, we ain't trying to do them semantics like that.
See, the reason why I asked to define maintenance and define provision,
Mm-hmm.
because as men, as men and as husbands, we provide more than just monetary
Oh yeah.
provision.
Oh yeah.
Provision, you know what I'm saying, from a husband is providing a covering for his wife, providing leadership, providing um understanding, providing compromise, providing halim, helm, forbearance, right?
Mm-hmm.
A system, order, and structure that we both already know that we have to live by, and that's by the Sharia. That's by the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Whatever,
Sound
so.
like
So,
fun.
to want to guard ourselves and our family from the hellfire, we have to teach them as well. You mean, so education is also included in that provision, right?
Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
our problem solving, that's included in that provision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our protection, that's included in that provision as well. Everything that's in a nutshell of them three P's that I mentioned, along with procreation, it's obedience too, right? It's obedience
Mm-hmm.
too. I mean, we're obligated to obey Allah and His Messenger, right?
Right.
All of us are obligated to obey Allah and His Messenger, but it's also part of the wife's obligation to obey their husband as well. And part of that obedience to her husband is reminding him when he falls short of what Allah Ta'ala and His Messenger has commanded us to do. So that means that we don't rule anything. I mean, we have to accept the reminder when our wife give it to us, because we're in this thing together.
Mm-hmm.
We're in this together. I mean, this is not a partnership. This is a life ship.
And that's important that you said that, because I don't think a lot of us, when we enter into marriage, look at it being a life ship thing. Could be so focused on, well, this happened, I'm gonna do this, that happened, I'm gonna do that. You got backup plans,
Nope.
the backup plans, the backup plans, and that can like really mess your situation up, because it doesn't give you a chance to get to come together to come up with a plan for your family, or to think, okay, this is my family, so let's work together on this. Let's build together on this. Let's learn, help each other from this. If we too caught up on my contingency plans, that my backup to my backup to my backup to my backup to my backup, things like that.
Now,
But
Jamil. Oh, I'm sorry, yo. You was still talking and shit. I'm
no, go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead. No,
Now,
go ahead.
Jamila. What is some of the what is one of the rights that you won't bend and flex for? Something must be wrong with her microphone.
She might have it on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, okay. Um, my prerequisites in regards to my rights are that, my husband teaches me the deen. I've been in marriages where the um my husband at the time was able to provide fully financially, and he wasn't teaching me anything. And of course, he was looking out for himself majority of the time. You know, I would ask for him to, of course, teach or, read or something to that effect. And he just refused. So, there are different aspects that I look for within a marriage. But I learned throughout my various marriages that, I'm looking for someone who's going to be able to lead me, and not so much financially. Don't get me wrong, here and there, if I need help, I'm looking for you to be there financially for me, but I'm not looking for you to pay all of my bills. Or, I'm looking for you to just, of course, be there if I need you, but to fill in other areas, more important areas. Not to say that providing financially isn't important, but being able to teach me, fiqh, being able to teach me, being able to remind me of Allah, being able to, remind me if I'm wrong, those things remind me, of death, remind me. So those things I look to. So therefore, if I'm looking for a husband, he has to be able to show me that he's able to lead me in salat, he's able to, meet certain measures, knowledge wise.
So
So
so a husband that has knowledge that can save and protect you and him. I mean, you and him is very important to you, right?
exactly, it's more important to me than whether or not he can pay my bills, or whether or not he can give me a huge stipend, or whether or not, like, if I need you, okay, be there. If I need $20, $30 here, or if I need help on the bill, that's fine. But I realize that that's not always the case for everyone's situation. And, some sisters do need, financial help, or some sisters would like to stay home rather than work. So it is the husband's responsibility to be the provider and the maintainer, even when it comes to the financial aspect as well.
Now I gotta. All right, before we get into the sisters answering the question that I asked, right? I got a deep question for y'all, right? Do you think, right? We're speaking hypothetically, right? Do you think, say, if a woman wants to be a stay-at-home mother, right? Do you think she is has that luxury to being a stay-at-home mother if the person does not have children by this man?
That's for any of us to answer, or
Anyone to answer?
If she's taking
the
if she's
idea
taking
would
care of
be
his
yes.
children, she should be able to
Yeah,
too.
the idea would be yes. I mean, ideally yes, but as we know some brothers not gonna. Oh, that's your child from a previous marriage or whatever. I don't have to take. I don't have to take care of him.
But no,
So,
let's not say one, right? Because one,
uh,
alhamdulillah, right? Now let's say if this person has multiple and can't have children by you, do you think that person has the luxury of staying at home?
Who is the luxury for? The wife or the husband?
The wife.
like I say,
Yes.
ideally, in
Um,
this. Go ahead, sister.
I
You
mean,
answer.
it can be a luxury to stay home. It could be a luxury to stay home with no kids, and you just a housewife. So I mean, yeah, I think that's fine.
Like I was
I don't
saying,
think it's a
ideally
luxury
that should
staying at
be
home, also, especially if you take care of children. It ain't easy to take care of children.
and work. Yeah, if the kids are not his, ideally that would be awesome. If the sister could stay home, take care of the kids, take care of the home front. Do that play that role as many of us would love to do that. But if we gonna put it in ideally, realistically, that doesn't happen. It would We would love it to happen, but a lot of our situations don't provide for that to happen. To
But
be
I feel
honest,
like if the children are not hers, the luxury is really not hers. The luxury is really the men's, because I'm just gonna be over 100. It's okay
It
to of course
really would be.
we love our stepchildren, or if you were gonna be a children, we, yes, we
hmm
love them like they're our own, how you supposed to be. But you asking someone who may not have children or want children to stay home with your children. So the luxury is actually for the man, it's not for the woman.
Oh, I think
So,
it's for the woman too because
because how would the luxury be for the man, right? When his lineage cannot be spreaded, because one of the things the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said is to marry a
Mhm,
woman who is fertile, right? And this
mhm,
person, staying
If we
home, right? And the man is
mhm.
weeping, it has to provide provisions for someone who is not allowing the other people to do the same. So you don't think is a luxury? So you're saying that the luxury is for the man, or is more for the man, or is for the woman? So what would be the luxury of the man if you say is the luxury of the man?
So we're saying that the children are not the wives, correct? So these children
No,
are
no,
from
no. The children
his.
is not his.
Oh, okay. So I thought you said the children are his, but
No,
aren't
I said they
hers.
aren't his. They aren't his. They aren't his. They
That
are
would be
hers,
awesome.
They're the wives and not the husbands.
and not the
Yeah,
husbands.
that would be awesome if
So we're
Right.
saying a
That'd be
situation where the
good.
children
yeah,
And
that
are
would
when
be
not
you
with their
accept your
father
awesome.
though.
children,
Hey, let me be the one to throw the monkey wrench in the conversation.
because
Mm,
usually
All
the
right, now we
the
we have we have situations
here
to
we go.
where, yeah, here we go. I mean that we a sister marry a brother, right? And the brother have children,
Mhm,
and the brother have children that he didn't father. And what I mean by he didn't father, meaning that they are out of wedlock, right? And the brother marry a sister to where the children that she have, they're not fathered, meaning that she had them out of wedlock as well, right? But on both sides, they both have drama. He got baby mama drama. She got baby father drama, right?
mhm.
So in a situation like that, I'm only how do a couple deal with a situation like that exists, because there are situations like that exist, right?
Okay, question now. Who are the kids primarily staying with?
Normally, if the child are out of wedlock of the
With the mother,
wife,
right?
they're with
Yeah.
the mother. Normally, if the children are out of wedlock with the father, they're with their mother. But this may be
Okay.
a father that's, even though they're out of wedlock, but he's in that children's life.
Right.
So they're a part of his life. So when he gets married, the children are gonna eventually know who he's married to,
Right.
right? The same as, for example, the brother may have no children out of wedlock, but he has many children. And the woman he's married to may have 3 or 4 children out of wedlock, but the children that they have them together, be it
Mhm.
2, 3, or 4, or 6 children together. They have children together, right?
Mhm.
So at the same time, she has drama with her baby fathers. I mean, she
I'm
has
on you
drama
there.
with her baby fathers because they don't want to be in the child's life because she got a husband, or they don't want to be in the child's life because they can't be in her life any longer because she got a husband.
Mhm.
All right, so how do we address
Those
situations
situations.
like that, right? And how do we try to solve certain situations like that?
I'm gonna let the other sisters take that one first.
I mean,
I can't. I
anybody,
Okay.
can't tell you because I ain't never
anybody,
had no baby
anybody
daddy
can,
Um.
drama.
anybody can
Well.
answer the question.
Okay. Okay.
Solly can
I'm gonna
answer the question.
I'm gonna give it from a perspective. Usually, sometimes when exes are that involved, when the exes remarry, is because 9 times out of 10, and they probably still carried on, you know, together. And then when the ex decide to remarry, it's like, oh, so we're not gonna be that way together anymore. Oh no, we just gonna co-parent. Sometimes we don't cut loose ends all the way. And when you have a parent that children from someone, you have to lay that down, rule down, and say, look, we're just gonna co-parent. This is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna respect who you're with, and you're gonna have to respect who I'm with. We deal with our children accordingly. I'm gonna trust the fact that who you're with is gonna, treat our kids respectfully, not do any type of harm to them. And I'm gonna trust that you're gonna protect them, just like you need to trust me as well. Sometimes we have to lay that ground rule down like that.
I think I have
Yeah.
to come from a different perspective, and maybe this is not the perspective of either spouse. It's a perspective of a stepchild slash child. Because of course I don't necessarily have that background, but I have been a stepchild. So of
Mhm.
course, and then seeing just family dynamics and how it's handled. My like certain boundaries just weren't crossed. The man of the household, he led that household, and if we lived under that household, we followed his rules. Um, and we knew from Mama not to take her business back to anybody, back to our fathers. She gave us that look like, don't tell my business. Like whatever
Right.
goes on here
I,
on
I,
in here, that's in here.
I,
You
I got
know.
I got another question. Right, I'm sorry to cut if Jamila about cut you off.
Or
Let
we
me
could
know.
just fight.
All right, so I got a question. When I said, does everybody understand what I mean by fathered the child? Right, he has children out of wedlock that he did not father. Do y'all know? Do y'all understand what I mean by that?
Nope.
Not necessarily,
What
no.
what what I mean by
You mean like stepchildren?
no, what I mean by fathered, meaning that he fathered children that was inside a wedlock. The children come from a wife. They don't
Mhm.
come from a baby mother, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
If they come from a baby mother, what I mean by fathered is that they come from a baby mother. He did not father them children because he was not married to their mother. That's what I
Okay.
mean by fathered, right?
Mhm.
What I mean by what I mean by a woman, marrying a woman who has children out of wedlock, meaning that they did not have, they wasn't fathered. She wasn't married to their father, right? That's
Yeah.
what I
Right.
mean by fathered children.
I think that it goes like the sister saying. First of all, you have to lay that ground rule down. I'm sorry, if that has not been my case, but if that was my case, then if like, look, I'm married now. We're no longer together. So you with who you with, I'm with who I'm with. It's about the children. Let's help raise our kids the best we can. Respect
Oh,
my husband. I respect your wife. And we have to stop. And another issue as parents, we got to stop putting kids in between grown folks' mess because that ultimately hurts the children. So we have to come up with a. We have to come up. We have to grow up. Basically sit down and say, look, these are the rules. This is my husband. Respect. He's my husband. This is your wife. Then I'm respecting that's your wife. But at the same time, I'm gonna make sure that again, trust the fact
So
that
really, you talking about a ratchet relationship?
Hmm.
you have to know. It may
Basically,
not have to be ratchet because sometimes you may have you ever had a breakup with someone and they
I think
still
that's what Muhammad's referring to, a ratchet
oh ratchet
relationship,
like that
relationship.
ratchet
where it's
stuff.
stemming from zina and it's like moved into
Muhammad referring to something
I
Muhammad like
mean,
the
ratchet.
ratchet fight.
it's
With
still. I mean,
Muhammad
it's
is
still
referring to something ratchet.
shit.
But I'm
Oh,
saying though,
no, but you
still.
know what? Honestly, all jokes aside, the wedlock, out of wedlock, in wedlock,
Uh,
that's just a result of our fornication culture. As we become Muslim, it's more shameful as a Muslim to keep having children out of wedlock. whatever you did prior to you becoming Muslim, that's like a person that got tattoos. If you had a tattoo before you took Shahada, what tattoo? I don't see it. Right? Far as all the baby daddy, baby mama drama, it is what it is. That's gonna come with the territory. Truth be told. I think when we started learning as Muslims, dealing with the
that's
whole
ratchet.
issue
So you
of,
might just have to bust one up a time or two.
My man told me when we was in prison, he's like, Muslims is about peace. Even we got to break things to pieces in order to establish the peace. So sometimes it is what it is. But on the more serious note is that you're building on that situation. Sometimes now when you start talking about children, rearing children, step parent, and all those things, if it wasn't for step parents, most of us wouldn't even have a parent. You know what I'm saying? The two-parent home. If it wasn't for that reality. As Muslims, like when I first became Muslim coming in, it was really no real big deal if a woman had children. If a man didn't feel like dealing with women with a lot of children, he just ain't deal with it. It was no big broadcast. If a woman didn't want to deal with a man that had children, she just didn't marry him. It wasn't broadcast. Nowadays, everything is broadcasted, and so when it broadcasts, it almost turns into a reality TV show. You know what I mean? And then it just be like, oh, well, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. There's a couple things like, maybe it should be explained to women when they become Muslim. Number one, you have to obey your husband. Number two, if he had children, those your children now. Especially those children.
I think that's the biggest problem now, Imam Khalil.
No, the problem is that dudes is on some sucker time. We compromise a lot.
Hey,
we
look,
compromise a lot, and a lot of it comes from we ain't got no money, and we feel like we got a short chain. Now we got to come in like tiptoeing. Nah, carry your stick on your shoulder.
No, what I mean,
this is what it is.
Now look. The reason why I brought that up is that I know, and it was in the time in the time that we live in. Allah Ta'ala bless us with some information, and a brother be married to a sister, she being stepmother to his children, but he don't want to be stepfather to her child because her child didn't come from an ex-husband, right? So he's gonna try to tell the sister, oh, I ain't gotta take care. I'm not responsible for your child because he's a child of the bed.
But that's
and I'm like, wait a minute, was she a slave? You know what I'm saying? The slave owner on the bed, so so the child from this is the child of the bed. No, that's not what we living in.
Yeah, but I don't think that
sister made a mistake. She had a child out of wedlock.
But even if she had a child out of wedlock, what are we gonna do with the kids? What are we gonna do? Throw them away?
No, you can't throw them away. You gotta raise them children.
I think that's very, that's.
Well, I don't think that, but I don't think that's just the time right now.
I think that's very hypocritical because a lot of us are children from the bed. A lot of us are born from
the only reason why men get away with having children out of wedlock is because you're not delivering the baby.
But let's be realistic.
They're not getting pregnant by themselves.
But let's
dudes that be hot on that, I ain't know, a lot of dudes be having kids. They be having kids. Most kids don't have a father to claim.
But Imam Khalil, but that's not the time. Like what y'all saying now. Like I remember that was a thing, but this time now is not. Is what's the word I'm looking for? Premeditated zina, right? Is that we're scared to be wives, we're scared to be husbands, so we prefer to stay in that girlfriend and boyfriend stage. We're content with being boyfriend and girlfriend, and this is the day and age now where it's like that. All this deadbeat daddy stuff and deadbeat mommy stuff, this is the year of ratchetness amongst everybody, right? This is why this red pill, blue pill, Guantanamo stuff is popular right now. Is because we're scared of doing that, right? And I'm gonna speak, and I'm gonna give factual proof, right? Is that even what you said, right? You come in, you say like, this is what it's gonna be, right? It's to the day and age now where these young girls, right? We got to speak about the new generation. We have to be more examples now. This new generation, if they have to be parents, if they have to be wives, they would run from that because of structure. I was told, me myself, by multiple sisters, that structure is scary.
Well, yeah.
That structure was scary. That she has to come in and be something that you're not used to being. Nobody in my generation or the generation under me is used to seeing healthy marriages anymore. They don't know how to be a wife or a husband. So you telling me to come in?
I think we do. We don't.
Bro. If you ask any young person, they don't really know. How do they know how to be something that's like saying, right? That's like saying, right? We know how to be drug dealers before we know how to be faithful. Because in the streets, being faithful was corny.
What I'm saying about along with what you're saying, I'm not totally disagreeing. But what I am saying is that there's people that's married, but we just don't praise them. We act like they don't exist. There's people that have been married for years. You know what I'm saying? Myself, I'm 16 years in with one wife and 7 with the other. It's in. But the thing is, and nobody looking for praise, but we overlooked that. We overlooked that. The people in my neighborhood know, the people in your neighborhood, they watch you. But this like a broad scale thing. I don't know what's going on. We're too busy, kind of like, I'm telling you, the war, we're like pessimistic people. We highlight on the worst things.
It's not that it's not praised, it's that nobody cares.
No, nobody cares. People care. But we're too busy bidding. Everything is a joke. Everything is something to bid off of.
So if it's a bid, you take it lightly. You take it lightly. If I got it, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I don't care. I really don't care. If I'm bidding off it, I really don't care. I'm not saying it don't exist, though. I'm not saying it don't exist, but it exists in a particular generation. I'm speaking about the younger people, right? People are running. And your generation, whoever is in their mid 40s, early 50s and stuff like that, right? Y'all still had an essence, right? Even though y'all was running around doing whatever it is, y'all still had an essence of what family used to look like. Y'all still grew up in an era where cousins will all lay in the same house with each other. Right? We're all laying in the same house with each other. We're in a culture now where the next door neighbor don't even talk to their neighbor. I know all my neighbors.
Hold up. Before we drift any further,
right?
We talking about roles.
Can I say something?
How we get here? How we get here?
We got here because we got here because
on the roles. We talking about roles.
I'm about to back it up.
Yeah, that's what you know.
Now, what I can say is, we often use the out of wedlock thing as a way to get
as a role
as men. I'll say that, and also another thing with children from other marriages, women use that as a role of why they don't want to get in the marriage or why they don't want to marry the man. We can use it that way, but we talking about roles. Now, this is what happens to y'all sisters when y'all quiet. We'll just dominate. Y'all better get up there and get the talking.
Y'all not even saying that.
Okay, so
I have a comment. I've been quoting this.
Go ahead.
So you talking about roles here. We talking about how to be a husband and a wife. First, we got to backtrack. How can you be a man and a woman? Some of y'all women are not real women. Some of you men are not actually men. So before you can take a leadership role as a husband, you have to be a man first and vice versa. Some people are not taught that or don't want to learn that. So how can you come into a role as a husband and you still be a little boy? You still be
and that's a question for the brothers. Brothers, can y'all answer that question? Because I like to hear
Islam don't make great men.
It go back to what I said. It go back to exactly what I said. We ain't really used to seeing that. How can you be a man when we're not used to seeing? I said that, right? I said you, right? Like it go back to what I said, right? Meaning we like when I was growing up, right? Do you know being, smashing every woman in the neighborhood was cool?
Yeah,
right? Not being with one woman was whack. It was corny. It wasn't praised at all. It was, you would get clowned like, bro, you would what, man? It was whack, right? If a girl wasn't out trying to get a man for what he got in his pocket, and you was talking this lovey-dovey stuff, you was kind of whack too. Because what your mother say, girl, you better get you a man with some money. So we're not used to
Nah, my
wearing
mother
that.
never said that. Just for the
Man,
record,
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. See, the thing is though, we gotta eliminate that. Your mother ain't said it, but how many of us know friends whose mom said that?
I mean, the opposite can always be true, though.
That's true.
You know what I'm
My
saying?
mama
I
said,
mean, that's what I'm saying.
"Don't never get with a man that you can't call in an emergency." That's what she told me.
Well, I mean,
you get a couple. That's the same. They get a couple dollars.
It's not the
Part of the
same thing. That's
protection is
about
provision.
reliability and dependability.
Yeah, that's about reliability. Never mess with a man that you can't call in an emergency.
Exactly. That
But,
doesn't have to be
but no,
financially.
man. Listen, let's stop it. No, in the hood, we know what that means. If you can't call that guy, that rent is backed up, and your car notice due, and you can't come.
No,
That's what
I'm
it means in the
talking
hood.
about something like, hey, I'm on
No,
the
but
side of the road with a
I'm
flat
talking about from
tire.
the streets. If you say that to a street guy, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like if he can't give you something, the same thing every guy went through in the streets. Now, let's be real.
No, it's not.
Imam Khalil, if somebody said that, right, you better not be with no man that you can't call in an emergency. What that sound like to you, bro? Be real.
Emergency mean like, hey, I got a flat tire. Can you come help me?
Hold on.
It ain't necessarily got to be about money.
That's why I agree with you.
Hold on.
Like, listen, sis, if you don't not screw that light bulb, don't mess with no man that can't screw it.
Right.
It don't have nothing to do with money.
A light bulb ain't an emergency. You said emergency. So that's what I'm trying to say.
If I'm in the dark, it's absolutely an
Hold
emergency.
on.
If I got a flat tire and I can't call you to come change the tire, see, that's why I learned how to change a tire, because I had a person in my life that couldn't change a tire. So what kind of man is you? So therefore, you can't even teach me how to change a tire. So what I need you for?
Hold on, they got AAA now. You ain't got to.
That's what I'm trying to say. They being bogus. They being bogus. That's what I'm trying to say. They being bogus. I'm letting them rock out.
No, you can't say I got AAA now. That's not fair to say.
Listen,
but like that's not fair for them to say. If you're asking about back in the day, what our mamas taught us and told us, ain't have nothing to do with AAA.
It ain't got nothing to do with AAA.
You said back in the day, what our mothers told us and taught us, AAA ain't got nothing to do with that.
I'm just seriously joking.
I'm talking about
but again, what does that? But what does that? No, but see, we're not being honest. I'm telling you, see, this is the problem we having, right? This is the problem we having. When men tell women what the problem. Yeah, go ahead.
What I was gonna say was you can't use that wide paintbrush. Everybody had different backgrounds. That statement, even me as a man being raised by both, men and women, my stepfather, my uncles. Basically, they will always tell you, boy, ain't no woman gonna want you if you can't do nothing for them. That was right from the rip. And that was their way of saying, go to school, focus on getting your money, and then get you the women. The women gonna be there. They ain't going nowhere.
But it go back to what I said. It was still an essence of family structure in your generation.
But look though, this is you'll learn this you'll even learn this from the streets. As a kid, right? In high school. All the girls in high school was running off with some older dude, right? Why is that? You ain't have nothing to offer them. Nothing. You see me? You understand what I'm saying? Why do they do it? It's a form of power. You being able to provide a provision. It doesn't matter what scale, what level it is. It's a form of power. A man with no power, nobody wants you except somebody who don't want nothing. You ain't
gotta have power. You got a couple dollars don't make power.
Gotta have power. You
we can't say that a couple dollars, because this is the essence. This is the problem we have. See, this is what I'm trying to say. We're out of touch with what's going on out here in society now.
It's not out of touch,
bro. We are. We are. So all right. We are, bro. We are.
You're limiting yourself in one spectrum.
Facts.
The streets ain't everything.
Right.
I can't listen. I can't eliminate my.
It's not just about money. That's low level. It's not just about money. It's about resources. When you're a man, you provide resources for your family.
When
you're able to tell a woman, your wife, yo, you can go over here and do such and such. This is what I take the boys, go over there and pick that up. That's providing a resource that removes harm, remove a level of harm. Like the Prophet ﷺ said, that's a sign of your iman, to remove harm from people. That's our job as men.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not. See, this is where y'all. This is where y'all missing at. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying.
Rant for like 7 minutes.
No, I didn't really get the rant because I was getting cut off too. I'm not.
Every time somebody speak, you cut them off, and you tell them they're not in touch with the streets.
All right, let's be realistic.
I lived on both sides of the field, Shay.
But you're from a different culture and different generation, bro. It's like you're walking outside with a band-aid under your eye, right? Like it's realistic, bro. It's real. Okay, what is the statistics now compared to? Hold on. I want y'all to do it now. What is the statistic now of divorce compared to the statistics 20 years ago of divorce of the Muslims? Do any of us know that?
It's still the same. Ain't nothing
no,
changed,
it's not, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Same.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's what I'm trying.
So most people ain't getting married in today's time. They're not getting married.
Listen, I said the divorce rate.
It's still the same.
From 20 years ago to now. No, it's not. That's what I'm telling you because I did the statistics.
From what I've seen.
How old were you 20 years ago, Sully?
Me 20 years ago? I was 18.
How old were you 20 years ago?
I was 18.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, in your era, when y'all was at this, what I'm trying to say to you.
20 years
ago.
20 years ago, Sully. 20 years ago, Sully, I was almost 30 years old.
I'm breaking it. Okay, so how was the Islam? So how 20 years ago? How was the Islam 20 years ago compared to now?
It's still the same. The people
we can't say that because the Prophet ﷺ said the generations are going to get worse. So I'm asking you. If you didn't do the statistics, bro,
what you ignoring, Saleh? What you ignoring is the fact that 20 years ago for me, 20 years ago for you, 20 years ago for Amir Khalil are still 20 years different areas and environments.
I said that too.
20 years ago, I was 32.
I understand.
20 years ago, it was yeah, okay, I got you.
Listen, man.
It was more marriages. It was more marriages among the youth 20 years ago for me than it is now. It was lesser divorces 20 years ago for me than it is now. It's divorce is like on a massive scale.
But that's what you're saying exactly what I'm saying, and y'all saying no. That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's what I'm saying.
I said it's still the same.
It can be.
I'm listening. Talking. Now, everybody's upbringing in Islam is different because I grew up in the community. You know what I'm saying? That my report card got to the masjid before it got home first. You feel what I'm saying? So, and by being a lot of us, my father took care of three households. Took care of 3 households, and we had two communities that was involved in family. So it was totally different 40 years ago than it is now.
That's what I was trying to say. Even when you look at streets, how the streets was, the streets of Chicago is different than the streets of Newark, New Jersey, or Brooklyn, New York, or Philadelphia. I mean, so it's totally different from a different dynamics. You know what I'm saying? Islamically, Islam during that time, as a community, was different during that time than it is now. It was a lot of people going away to study in the late 80s. They come back in the mid 90s and the late 90s, trying to chase a bag, not really trying to teach and build no community or structure. You follow what I'm saying? By the time they came back, the idea of being a part of Jamaat was in the back burner. It wasn't something that was important. So a real community, a real Jamaat didn't really exist 20 years ago. Where I come from, because it was shunned. It was frowned upon at that time. Because of the culture I come from, being a part of Jamaat looks like a gang, because when a brother beating his wife and the brothers go drive down on him for
putting his hands on our sister. You know what I'm saying? The people that's on the outside looking in, looking at the Muslims rolling like a gang.
Mm-hmm.
We had
don't do that now.
But that's what I was trying to say.
We had a shootout.
That's what I was trying to say.
And the Stones in broad daylight on the corner of 79th and Kingston.
That's what I was trying to say the entire time. Wallahi. And I said, what is the difference? Listen to the question. He said exactly what I was saying. And this is what I'm trying to identify to everyone else.
I say
it's completely different.
Ain't nothing changed. The only difference is younger people don't belong to no community. They just doing their own thing and they ignorant as hell.
But then that goes against what I was saying to you. But it goes against what I was saying. Y'all, but it was more than likely, Amir Khalil. That's what I'm saying to you. You would see in the Islamic world 20 years ago, more marriages, more this now. I just said it as well. Nobody's getting married. And the divorce rate now, Imam Khalil, is 78.6, bro. Statistics in the inner city Islamic community. That's not a problem.
How it's 78%.
78.6, bro. Is that not a problem?
Who's taking count for it?
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
I'm pretty sure they're missing some. I know one person. I don't know if he still live in Philly or not, but he's a friend of mine from New York. This dude was married almost 90-something times in 2 years.
And how old is he?
He got my age now, but when he was doing, he was in his 30s. He's not 90-something times. It was so bad, like basically people just said, "Yo, don't even bother marrying him."
Right, there you go. And you see how people said not to do that now, right?
Yeah, but what I'm
now with divorces now, right? It's divorces now.
But wait,
what people say, oh nah, man, don't. It's completely different, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's a completely different culture now.
We gotta have a divorce talk because you're very passionate about that. But right now, let's talk.
I'm compassionate about Jamal. I'm compassionate about community.
As soon as you start mentioning about people out of wedlock,
you absolutely right. I'm with you with that. You absolutely right. I'm with you with that.
This is the only thing I say, brothers and sisters, and everybody listening. I understand, his role and things of that nature, but we ain't even there yet. We ain't even there. We don't even have no concubine right hand possession. We had right hand possession. We wouldn't have a dirty house like you usually do, right? If we had right hand possession, you wouldn't have half the marital problems you got right now. The bottom line is, babies out of wedlock, man, we just take a shot. Let's learn how to be Muslims before we do all that, do all the rulings and all that stuff, because it ain't getting you nowhere. You gonna have these same little kids while you marry that woman. You ain't got no kids out of wedlock. Them little unwedded children. They're gonna be there waiting to stick you up because they ain't got nobody. Because a man brings something to the table: guidance, resources, money, structure. That's what a man brings. All these little kids out here committing homicides. Most of them ain't got no daddy in their life. Most of them ain't got a father in their life. Most of them got the strong mom that's a nurse, a CNA, whatever, bus driver, work for SEPTA, the garbage lady, because sisters be on the garbage trucks now. All of these different things. And these children don't have that same structure. They don't have that structure. So are we better? Are we better separate? That's a role that we play. We got to come in, and most of the time, a lot of times, and you got to be honest, most brothers don't know which way they're going. You need the woman for everything, babe. How you cut the lights on, babe? How you get a water bill? Hey, I'm keeping it 100.
Oh, but why is that, Imam Khalil?
Because most of them raised by our mamas, and our mamas ain't give us that type of responsibility.
Absolutely. That's one.
So how we talking about that? We just gotta get people to stop fornicating. Once you stop fornicating, you ain't gonna have no more kids out of wedlock. But we can't even get to that part. Then when they come, the one thing that shifted. I remember back in the day, you'd be like, man, don't get married yet until you learn all you need to learn about the deen. Bro, this dude is about to go get this girl right after he leaves his shot, after he just finished taking shahada. You better find his little girlfriend and see if she's going to take shahada with him. We put stuff off and we get people to delay, the reason to keep delaying. And so the roles keep getting less and less. You know why some men are comfortable? They're used to being taken care of, right?
So
they that resembles moms.
Yeah.
But you ain't got that. You didn't have that model of that model of daddy. So now you don't know which one it is.
So it go back to what I was explaining. That's why I kept saying. That's why I kept saying is a different. But that's why I kept saying it's a different generation, it's a different culture. Is more men out there like that was raised. That's why I asked you, why is that? Because of this. This is the culture we are in now, and it's blown up. Right.
I do want to throw this one thing in. Look back at Sirah, right? Muslims got divorced.
Yeah, Muslims, no, you're absolutely right.
There was two Sahabas that's responsible for spreading Ahlul Bayt because all they did was get married, right? And I'm not saying that in that way to belittle their status. So Muslims get divorced, but it doesn't create the atmosphere that we got today. When we get divorced because we're more ninja than we are Muslim, the way we leave our marriages be on some Negro type time. It be on some straight Jahiliyyah stuff. You don't deal with the woman no more. You don't even want the kids. You're like, man, you don't care about them kids. Then she get married to somebody you definitely don't want. I don't want no parts. You cover it up saying I don't want no fitna. Dude, give my kids. You see what I'm saying? This is all that response. This whole breakdown is because we're choosing other than Allah's deen. Our lives are almost like Housewives of Atlanta.
So let me ask you this again, Imam Khalil. Just say, as you being a man, right? You are everything that you identified.
Right.
What we're talking about as of today. If you say, "May I have my kids?" what would be the result?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
No. Answer the question. Let's be honest. This is what I'm saying. Let's not beat around the bush.
If I tell you from my perspective, then I'm
hold on. Allow me to ask it again.
Because I don't have that problem. I had that problem.
That's what I'm saying. Let's eliminate you, right?
Either one or two things is going to happen.
But that's two different scenarios we're talking about. We're speaking about if he's a man in his household or he's a man to his prior wife. There's a difference.
No. We speaking about I'm asking because he made a point, right? He said that even with divorce, right? We're speaking about divorce, right? And say he says, right, as him being a man that everything he needs to be.
To do with role,
right?
Everybody that's listening.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with
roles
the topic.
because you talk about men playing roles and things of that nature. So this does have something to do with roles.
Right.
This ain't just going to the everyday typical conversation.
Right.
What the man ain't doing, what the woman ain't doing. This thing is actually a little more spicy than I thought it was going to be. But go ahead, proceed on.
So what I'm saying is you're that man that everybody listen. He's that man that he provides structure. He provides this, right? And he divorces.
Right.
He divorces. Right? He has children. He said, "May I have my children?" Right?
Okay.
May I have my children? We're talking about applying through Sharia, right? That the child goes with the man. If he asked for his children in this day and age, as of now, what would be the answer to that? Not saying you.
I'm in Philly. I'm in Philly. There's a lot of women giving their kids up.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna sit here and pump fake like it's not. I would be lying to you if I say I don't see it.
I didn't say we don't see it. I'm not saying we don't see it because it happened to me. I'm not saying it don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Listen to the answer. That's what I'm saying. Let's not talk about it does happen. We know it has rare occasions, right? It happened to me. But out of 10 people I know, 8 of them are not going to get their children. Not even 5 is going to get their children.
What I'm saying is
that's what I'm speaking on. What is the majority? What is the issue? Because we have to talk about the mass issue. What is the mass issue?
Then I'll tell you another thing that a lot of things play part with this. So it ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? Your state laws, right? Your state laws. Pennsylvania is a commonwealth. If you took your child from your child's mother house and the child is in your house and she call the cops on you,
that's kidnapping.
She got to go to court. So it don't happen like that. New York, New Jersey, that's a little bit different. They'll probably lock the man up and everything. You see what you understand? Even with his name on the birth certificate.
See here, that's kidnapping.
Exactly. So it's different. It's different per place, and people's attitude will carry based on where they reside.
But that's why I said that. But listen, what I'm saying to you, I'm speaking about Sharia, right? And I'm saying, what is the mass? This is what I'm saying. We avoiding the statement that I'm making. I'm saying, one sister said, more than likely, he's not going to get him, right? These are the
he's
things
not gonna get her. He not.
This is what I'm trying to
No,
get to
but
the core issues.
his question is talking about Sharia.
And I said, more than likely, if he asked for the kids,
He's
what
not
would his
gonna get
end? No,
them.
I'm not just saying. I'm saying more than likely.
Sharia, the man is not getting them children unless she marries again.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. Now, if he asked for these kids, what would more than likely happen in this day and age?
Okay,
he gonna say no.
okay, let me ask you a question though, brother. Let's be honest and real. How many men in this day and age are gonna ask for those kids?
For their kids?
Exactly. I have a
There
little
you
story.
go. There you go. How many men want the kids?
But
Listen, I have a little
again,
story. Listen.
We understand. I'm with y'all with that too. That's what I'm saying. But y'all got to listen to what I'm saying. We're attacking more than what I'm the question I'm asking.
Though,
I did answer the question. The question hold on, y'all. Listen, hold on.
You only trying to get your point across, Saleh.
Because I'm not letting nobody else speak. Because we're not. I am letting everybody speak. The problem is I let Imam Khalil speak. As soon as I say something that go against y'all, the thing is I want to go against y'all. Because to me, I don't go with what's going on. I deal with what's the real life facts, right? The real life facts is the question I asked Imam Khalil was a man like you. Listen to the question I asked first. A man like you. What would happen to a man like you if you was that man that you say you are and you asked for your children? We didn't answer that question. Okay, so, and I'm with you, sisters, 100%. A lot of men aren't. A lot of men aren't going to do that. I'm with you. And this is what I'm trying to get at. These are the real issues. And why is that? Why are we like that? Why are we enemies to each other? Like you said, is a gender war. Why is it enemy? The problem is the enemy. The reason why we're enemies, because none of us know how to be husband and wives anymore. We pretend we are.
A lot of women weren't raised to be women, and a lot of men weren't raised to be men.
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at. That's all I'm getting at, y'all. So that's what I'm getting at.
How do you change that?
And how we change? My answer would be, if we got kids, start marrying them off young.
That's not gonna change the fact if the
and then it takes hold on, and it takes a village to raise a family. We got to start being villages again. When I say y'all that we don't even know our neighbors anymore. A lot of time our kids like I said, I go back to my neighborhood all the time. I don't know nobody on these streets anymore.
Well, the streets
nobody.
That's the turnover.
I got a question.
Then they die in the winter.
I got a question.
No, I didn't even say the show. I just said my neighborhood, period. Like, before, I used to know everybody on my block. I could ask anybody for milk. If I did something wrong, someone would tell my mother. Somebody would do this. Somebody would do that. Now, nobody knows their neighbors like that. Nobody.
I don't know. I disagree with you. So I disagree. I know. I'm sorry. While I live at, I know my neighbors, and every store owner that's my neighbors. I know my neighbors.
So you do?
Yeah. Oh, I know my mother-in-law's neighbors on her block. I know them. They know me.
Don't think I don't know what you're saying. So I know exactly what you're
the question that I wanted to ask is that when you said marry your children young, if you marry your children young and your children was not taught how to be a father, wasn't taught how to be a wife, what problem would that solve? That won't solve any problem.
But we're going back to the men.
Hold on, Saleh. Let me finish. The reason why I said that, I got married at 15. My oldest son got married at 18, straight out of high school. My oldest daughter, that's 35, going on 36, she got married at 18. Got married at 18. What they didn't learn, they still had to learn it as they go along.
Yeah.
My son been married 8 years now. Him and his wife been married since they was fresh out of high school. They got 3 children now. They still call and ask questions.
And what did I say? Go back to what I said. It takes a village to what? Okay. See, you're saying everything I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to you. You're saying everything I'm saying. I said that.
But what you're saying is that marrying them off young, it still does not solve the dilemma. It still takes work. It still
everything
takes community.
But everything takes work, bro. It's gonna take work. That's what I said. It takes a village to raise a family.
It still takes community. When you come to Masjid Uthman that photo, how many youth is in the masjid? How many of them are talking about getting married or talking about that they attended? Right?
Dang near all the Imam Khalil kids. So that's what I'm saying. But if you go to Cuba or somewhere else, it ain't no youth there like that. That's what I'm trying to say. It's different. It's different, bro. That's what I'm trying. That's why I said Imam Khalil. See, I'm praising what it needs to be praised. I'm gonna talk about what it needs to be talking about. I'm praising Imam Khalil because I know what he's doing. I said a man like you, bro. That was the first question. And I'm saying you and men like you, Abu Muhammad, that people like you need to start raising your kids off young because you're going to make sure that they are raised right. Of course, the people who ain't, that's why I said we, right? But we have to start by doing that. We got to start building these communities again and start showing our kids what roles to play. Start teaching our daughters how to be this. Start teaching our men how to be this. The men that are men out here.
There's one thing I want to interject, and then I want to hear some of the sisters, bro. Cause we always on here, we always rap.
Yeah, we over here. We took control. We took over.
Yeah, are we gonna be able to talk?
Yeah, we love y'all. We sorry.
Hold
sorry.
There's one thing I want you to keep. I want everybody to keep this in mind. This is why Sirah is so important. You had two types of people that was always displayed during the time of Prophet Sallallahu. You had the people that were like kind of like lived in the city, they were considered more civilized, and then you had the Arab, the Arab, the desert Arab, the Bedouin, right? Those street people, you had intelligent people from amongst them because Allah said that. But He said the majority of them are Bedouin Arabs. So usually this is my own personal thing. I say when people be like, "Yo, we black, we just niggas, you know how we are." Yo, that's you. You a desert Arab. You a Arab. They the dudes that was pissing in the masjid. They were the dudes standing outside the Prophet Sallallahu house. They were the dudes that were doing all those crazy, those wild and crazy things. We got to figure out what side of the fence we gonna be on. If we don't bring Islam and raise our children, our families based on Islam, we will continue this process that we got going on. It will never change. Reason why we're having these gender roles and roles. Do you know the non-Muslims really look to us for answers, but we look to them and we follow them more than they follow us. I'll give you an example. Everybody used to love my Sheikh Kevin Samuels, right? That was my guy, right? Do you know that he had a couple programs where he was questioning one woman? He said, why don't y'all become Muslim? They got programs for women. Why don't they teach y'all how to be good women and stuff like that? Meanwhile, our women want to mimic them.
He was talking about the fake shit.
Problems. No. He was talking about Muslims. Because even Bill Cosby said the same thing just before he got booked on his little sexcapade. He said the same thing in a lecture. I think it was at Temple. He said black people need to be more like the Muslim community. That's exactly what he said. Because why? Islam represents man, woman, and child. You can talk about polygyny all you want to, but you gotta respect the man that's trying to hold on between the family. You gotta respect the man like that. But when we talk with regards to polygyny, we talking like, oh, he just trying to get some more yams, or he just trying to do this, or he just trying to do that. But if he got a bunch of kids out of wedlock, everybody's wife remain mute. They'll remain mute on that, and then they'll only get the kid periodically. Or they'll be like, well, I was the bigger person. I took him in and raised him. No, why don't you just be quiet and let that man get married and take care of his children? We wouldn't have these kind of issues because most of the guys are scared of their wife. They're scared their wife either going to leave or she gonna Al Green them, hit them with them grits, right? You understand what I'm saying? So this is what's destroying. We keep picking everything except Islam. Everything except Islam. We pick it all. We'll try feminism. We'll try, the red pill, blue pill. We all that stuff. To the point, when has Muslims ever had a problem with doing gender role? Any woman that became Muslim knew that Muslim women cook and clean. That's why the nation developed MGT. But when I seen all the young girls, they would turn to the old heads like, look, I don't know how to cook. I don't even know how to boil rice. But now everybody like, ain't nobody even worried about it. Yo, you food stamps? If you in a place like New York or Philly, you can get hot food with food stamps. So don't nobody care. All these freebies come with a freebie mentality. It makes you lazy. And you do not excel, nor do you ascend to your role. Everybody's always talking about SSI and SSD. I'm trying to get that social security disability. That's all most people talk about. Matter of fact, most of my friends that we, you know, when we were younger, they all locked up. They just getting out of jail. All they talk about is SSD, getting out, you know, collecting a check. When I got out of prison, we were talking about starting businesses. There's a big mental shift. It went. You can't even have a conversation. That's what I'm saying. I know people say, "Yo, we drifting," and you know, we not staying on topic. You can't even talk about a man having a role if he don't have a motivation. Ain't nothing gonna make that man upset. I used to have some old cantankerous uncles. You're dumber than a box of rocks. I'm like, man, who the hell you talking? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. These dudes now, I'll kill you, man. You tell me you ain't my daddy. I'll shoot you, nigga. That's all everybody talk about. God bless me with a good aim. That's it. No more. That's their motivation. Because they want to go to jail, and the jail is like a big behind a nursery school. That's all it is, a nursery school. I've never seen a bunch of grown men run around and play games with each other like I did when I was in prison, and it's still the same thing to this day. So you want to talk about gender roles? That's what's happening.
One like that when I was in prison.
Women that's stepping up, they thugging now. Women packing gats and busting, shooting at dudes too. Thanks. Gender roles. It's all gender roles. You will never have a mother nor father, husband and wife, if we keep living this life we live in with the same mentality that we had, what was going on prior to Islam. We have to abandon Jahiliyyah. You never found a Sahaba with one toe in Islam and one toe out. And if you did, they never had a good ending. Remember the man that used to recite Surah Al-Baqarah and Ali Imran every day, and he apostated and went back to Christianity? What happened? The earth wouldn't even accept his body. The people are like, oh, this got to be the magic of Muhammad. Muhammad is doing this. The earth wouldn't accept. We 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Everybody criticized the great Sahaba Abdullah ibn Salam because he used to still observe the Sabbath. We got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We got to figure out where we want to be at. We get mad when somebody speaking in a manner that is speaking about uplifting and elevating men. We get mad when they speak about, fighting for rights of women. We want to be feminists. We want to be this. We don't know what we want to do. That's why you having a role problem now. And nobody wants to bend. A selfish person can't stay married either. You don't deserve to be in a marriage. Babe, I can't do this. Can you help out? I ain't doing that, brother. That's your job. See, me, I think it's just simple. Okay, you feel like that. You're right. I can't take care of you. So let me go on about my business and let you go. Then they be like, no, but you're getting divorced for no reason. Well, you just said that I'm less than a man. See,
I was going to say that too. Imam Khalil.
We have to
let the sister speak out.
Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. We're sorry.
Okay. With this gender role thing, a lot of it comes from a lack of understanding who we are as Muslims and practicing that. We're not putting to practice what we say we're supposed to be putting to practice. Quran and Sunnah. Let's just start there for one. A lot of issues that a lot of sisters talk about, and I'm surprised I haven't got kicked out some of these marriage groups because finances be one of the main things. Oh, he can't give me this, he can't give me that. So my question to them is that by Sharia law, what does he supposed to provide for you? Oh, house, food, shelter, and clothing. Correct. Does it stipulate the house has to be a mansion? No. Does it stipulate that I have to have Gucci, Balenciaga, and all these other clothes? No. Does it stipulate I have to have steak and shrimp and lobster every night? No. It's about what you can afford.
Well, you have to remember that hadith, Sister Nasir, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. But it has to go back to prior getting married. Sisters, be honest with what you need. Brothers, be honest in what you can afford and what you can give. Stop selling these fake dreams and wishes and hopes. Oh, I got you. No, you don't have me. If like I said earlier, if the guy come with, say, this is what I can give you monthly, and she sit there and say, okay, we can make this work, I accept. Cool. That take care of that issue if we do it that way. But also go back to sisters, what Allah tell us that we have to do. We have to obey our husbands. Because that's our paradise, our gateway to paradise, right? I ain't trying to go to hell on something, because I ain't trying to go to hell. And one of the scariest hadith there is, when Muhammad said, when he was in hell, he saw hell and it was filled with women. Why? Because we're disrespectful and ungratefulness. And to be honest with you, we all have been ungrateful. I know I have. I can admit it. At some point in time, we've been ungrateful.
Sister,
I'm not ungrateful. I ain't claiming that.
With
no, I'm saying I'm just saying I'm gonna be honest. We gonna be honest.
We all shown some sense of
I'm
at one point in
listen what I'm
time.
saying. Let me say, at some point in time, if you look at it, go back and think about it, analyze it, you're gonna see what Dad, I was ungrateful. The brother couldn't do this, but he did do that.
So when are we going to change it?
Like
when
I remember sister got
our ingratitude.
I got
I said, when are we going to change it? When are we going to stop our ingratitude?
We have to learn it for ourselves. We don't look at ourselves. When have we, sisters, we looked at a hadith that talked about sisters, and we really looked at it and said, Dad, did I do that? Oh, subhanAllah, I did do that. As a way of Allah saying, don't do this, correct yourself. We don't do that.
There's a question.
I'm just talking about, brothers do the same, but right now I'm talking about for us as women, sisters.
But also,
everybody make sure y'all look at the question. There's a question up there.
I want to answer. Well, we can answer. I gotta say one thing.
Oh,
so we're saying that we saying what the men can allow. Now here comes the problem. And this has to do with roles too. So what the men could provide at that time. Okay, he can provide this, but I know that I need X, Y, and Z, even for things that I might have had prior to me getting with him. If I take care of my family, if I take care of this person, and he can't provide what I need for that, so then I go out and say, well, this is what I gotta do. I gotta help my
that's what I'm saying.
job.
That's what I'm saying. But prior to getting married, that needs to be established.
But things change.
Saying that, okay, brother.
Yeah, but things can change. Within that time, you've been married for 5 years,
things
can change. And he's telling me, oh no,
wait. Let me hear this. Hear a comment out. Go ahead.
Okay. So things saying, so like things. I mean, not that we discussed this, but I'm saying like just to throw it out there, like things do change, and I might have something that come up that I might want to achieve or score or anything, and the man saying, well, your role's in the house and you gotta work. But brother, this is what I need, and this is what has changed. You can provide that. So then what? So then I am to blame because maybe I said, well, I'm going to work. That's what I'm going to do. Like we're at a standstill because you can't provide for me, but I know I can, but I can't work. So then what?
Then. Good question.
That's deep.
That's deep.
That was kind of deep. I'm shocked.
That was deep.
I ask something. Is that what's called? Can I ask a question? Is that a need or a want? Because you have a roof over your head, you have clothes on your back, you have food in your stomach. So are you going out because you actually need something as a provision to keep you alive and to sustain you, or is it something that you want as a luxury? And you're saying, hey, listen, I don't care what you say. I'm gonna go out and work because I want this. Not because I need it to survive, but because I want it as a luxury.
No, it's a need. If I take care of, some people come in with different issues. Things happen. If you in a marriage for a long time, things are going to happen. Your parents get sick. His parents get sick. Your kids want to go to college. Things are going to happen. Things are going to.
So what happens if he says no? You can't go out and work.
This is what I'm saying though. He's saying no, you can't go out and work, but I can't provide for you.
Well, you did say that was established in the beginning though, right?
And it was established in the beginning, but over time, things
he was
might
going to
have
need his
changed.
wife to do certain things, to help out with the maintenance, the maintain. That's what she's saying.
Okay, but as time progresses, he changes his mind. He says, "No, I don't want you to work."
Now can I add to this, because I see this from a different angle, which is, what we're talking about is baseline necessities, right? If you got what you need and necessary, and some people have that, it's okay, right? Khalas, like, oh, yo, I got a roof over my head, I got a couple dollars coming in when I need it, I got food, I got garments, you don't need nothing, nothing extra. But you do have, and really it should be more on the man's perspective. And I this is how I see it. Men, you have some men that are more ambitious, right? Like, the one of the things that when I'm saying ambition, some people are cool with just, with just enough, just to get by and survive. But then you have some people that have that ambition, because you had amongst the companions, you had rich men, you had majority, a lot of poor men, and you had some men that was doing all right for themselves, right? Now, you had some women that wouldn't marry some of the men that didn't have a lot, and not because of reasons of doing it. It might just be because of basically her lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? And so sometimes you're dealing with that. And I think what happens in our community, sometimes a person that is kind of ambitious, they're not compromising their Islam in no way, shape, form, or fashion, then they kind of like get frowned at sometimes, right?
Right.
Also, you have the man who might see that his wife is staying home. She's not staying home taking care of children and things like that. She's just at home watching, BET all day or something like that. Nothing productive, because, if it ain't nothing productive coming out of it, it's like a waste of time. Now, sometimes when men have women that make more money than them, it's an ego thing. And honestly, there's a mentality that does come with it, because there's an ego thing on behalf of the wife too. Right?
Go out there and make some money. Go make some money. You make some more money than me. Alhamdulillah, girl. You go, girl.
And black women, there's always that whisper in the ear to have everybody competitive against one another versus working together to accomplish things to leave behind a legacy of children. Leave behind something for the children, right? We need money, right? We need Quran schools. Everybody that's going and studying abroad and coming back, ain't nobody really establishing nothing. They just get on the platform attacking other black people, other black Sunnis, right? Yeah. It's not coming out. You need something tangible. You need men to be builders, right? Families, you need to own something. How much longer is it going to be that black people live in one area right now? 20 years later, we being moved somewhere else. It's called gentrification. We don't own anything. So it's going to take some sort of motivation and ambition to change these things. See, we can talk and be like, yo, because y'all ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. No, we got to put our resources together and start doing things. Uthman funded the Battle of Badr with all their weapons. He didn't even have to ever go out and swing a sword because it was already paid for. We don't have that many people. We could barely even buy each other lunch. Because the lack of motivation. Then the better our spiritual connection is, the more Allah give us provision. Most of us are so sinful, we never even see the spirituality. We think not having something is a curse. We almost like Christians. When you're doing good, Allah has blessed you, the barakah of Allah, right? But if you're struggling, Allah has cursed you. There's Sahabas that struggled during the time the Prophet said something, they were piss poor, and after the death of the Prophet said something, they were extremely rich. Nothing never stays the same. That's why you have to maintain your relationship with Allah and just keep working, whatever your goal is. These things shouldn't be the thing that's tearing us apart. What you should do is, when you're going through that door, when you get married, just tell a dude straight up, look, there's nothing wrong, brothers. And I got to say this, and I learned this from studying the Sharia. There's nothing wrong with a woman marrying a man to be taken care of. I'm sorry to tell y'all that.
No, you absolutely right, Imam Khalil.
Hey, hold on.
You're right.
There's nothing wrong with a man getting married to have sex. The Sharia permits that. Because the thing that's haram is prostituting. The other thing that's haram is him outside for committing fornication. And that is a result of y'all both not getting married because y'all need money and the other one needs sex. So there's nothing wrong with it. We do too much. We like philosophers. We talk too much instead of just accepting it for what it is. And sometimes we have a problem subduing our ego and submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a lot of it has to be because of how we were educated. Even though we hated school, but most of us have this scientific approach where we question everything. Well, why is this like that? 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 During the time Imam Malik would have had us kicked out of his circles. Like, man, look, go learn something and then talk to me. The Sahabas didn't ask the Prophet ﷺ a plethora of questions. But what happens if we do this? And what happens if we do that? We have to learn how to, learn how to just live in our moment, being what they go with the subat, being that in your moment. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about your past, but just live in that particular moment. Sometimes this is what's killing us. That's killing us because we're not even allowing life hard times to hit us and develop. We just wonder about what if already. You know how many people have anxiety? Women that get in anxiety, just based off the fact that, like, yo, there's a possibility we might get ready to get thrown out. And they just break down. They almost end up in a crazy house. Just thinking about it. Sometimes it's like, yo, just sit back. We got to figure out a plan. Now, you do have a problem when you have somebody that has it. But just because a man ain't speaking doesn't mean he ain't thinking of a plan. All women get frustrated like that. A lot of men shut down, get quiet, and like, all right, I hear you. And if you can't give her a fast answer, then she's like, you ain't even trying to do nothing for her. You just
don't get a man a chance to get a plan. They just jump ahead because they're independent.
They be ready to rock and roll. I'm out of here. And so then this is where brothers be saying that stuff like women only in it for money. We gotta grow up. We gotta grow up, man. Yo, listen. If you want, what they say, you want a little bit of honey. You gotta have some money. You gotta pay to play. You're not getting married and just not taking, just lay up. She serve you meals and things of that nature. I hate to sound so brass about it, but it's not like that. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? I give y'all homework assignment. It's some Jahiliyyah stuff, but go watch the Mac. What happened with Goldie? What happened with Goldie?
Watching that.
What part are you talking about? What happened to Goldie?
I'm too young for that.
What part are you talking about? What happened?
Hey, the Mac was good though.
I'm not watching that. Sorry.
The bottom line is that
because his beginning story as a pimp is like every other pimp.
Well, no, I ain't talking about that part. I'm just talking about how people kept losing their clients. How people kept I'm telling you, unless she has a high spiritual resolve, there's not a woman that's gonna sit there and just turn to ashes with you, bro. That's just the truth.
That's true.
She's not. I don't care how, unless she has a high spiritual resolve, right? Like you had Asma binti Abu Bakr, right? She had a high spiritual resolve. But guess what? When she was no longer married and Umar proposed to her, she declined Umar's hand in marriage. Why? She said, Umar, your lifestyle, you live like a life of a zuhud, a zahid. You have a very an astute, or ascetic lifestyle, and I can't do that no more. You see what I'm saying? So you can't knock that. But sometimes what happened with us is we don't want to be married. I mean, we don't want to be unmarried. And so then we settle, right? We settle for these things. And then when it start looking like what you just left, then, I don't want to just, if you, that ain't what you, that ain't what you.
Sheikh, she was the widow of a man who was promised paradise from the lips of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So of course she wasn't trying to marry. Of course she wasn't trying to marry nobody else because she wanted to be his wife in Jannah too.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying though. But you
and that's something too, Amir Khalil, that I want all the sisters to realize that if we come from a certain lifestyle, it's okay to expect your husband to be able to give you that lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that. But just be open in front. My thing is, at the beginning of marriage, just be upfront and open. Say, look, I'm used to this, that, and the third. Are you able to keep me in this particular,
Now this.
But a lot of us ain't marrying for that.
I was gonna.
You know, like
I know. I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying. I
I
understand that.
work.
I understand that.
I
I'm just
choose to
saying.
work because say for instance something happens to my husband, he loses his job
I understand
tomorrow.
that.
Then we might need a backup plan.
Right.
I'm just saying
that's
whether
true.
I'm working.
I also like shoes, and I want to buy my shoes. So that's why I like to work.
But not to dive in with y'all like when
You
like when
meant to
we hear
dive
about
in, Saleh.
no, listen, I didn't say nothing for almost 22 minutes, and I counted. Now, you
That's the longest you've been quiet in your life.
That's what I'm saying. 22. Like I said, as soon as I
The
say
only other time you quiet for 22 minutes is when you sleep.
Half of the time, I don't even say that. I don't even monitor. I'll be letting. Even Khalil is the master of breath. That boy could go win. He got win. I ain't got win. I just go in and say what people want to say, and it's cool. Like I said, I love y'all. So, but even with the
what
shoe
people don't want to say. You say what people want to say that don't say it.
Right. So the thing is though, right? What I notice is that a lot of times when you see people go out here and like I said, I'm with everybody with this, right? I'm just pointing out the facts with it. Normally, when you go in and you see a person living this high fashion life, got the Gucci and the Prada on, they gang their pop trying to keep up with the Joneses. They just to keep up with the Joneses. That's a neff thing. That's just your neffs. You go spend $1,200, $1,300 on that. When you start digging into that person's situation, you start realizing that things ain't getting paid because we're getting these type of things, right? Right. And then you have some that are able to buy these things that to do these things. But and going with what Imam Khalil said, what you said that you got to have money. You're right. We can, a woman can be married to be taken care of, and a man can marry for sex. You're right. These things are legislated, right? They're legislated. But the issue with that now is that, right? The issue with that now is that we're not compromising when it comes to anything. You got a husband, right? And I'm not saying that I don't like using that. Oh, you better give your husband some, right? But what about just punishing him with something because you're mad? You may be mad for a week.
That's not even Islamic,
right? Yeah, right. That's what I'm with you now. Now, bro might say, "Yo, I ain't gonna pay the bills because she ain't trying to give me some." Right? It's like, go ahead. What's up?
Sorry, I would like to know how many marriages you guys think will work. Even you guys, if you reverse the rules, if the man stay home with the kids and the wife work,
my job won't work at all.
Why?
They the ones that work nowadays. They the ones that work nowadays.
I'm not saying that because like my wife's on that type time. Firstly, I wouldn't even feel like a man.
Right.
I ain't even comfortable doing that.
But they the ones that's working nowadays, bro. They're working. They're the ones that's working.
I would love to be a stay-at-home wife. I would love that because I'm tired.
I'm
old and tired.
I feel you. But those are the ones that's working. Because as you said before, like you said to me, man, that's a control thing.
Yeah.
That's monetization. You're trying to see what the man is. He's home.
No,
those are the ones that's working down there.
I don't want no man at home. I don't want that.
Man,
unless
who does?
Unless he's handicapped.
I'm just saying those are the ones who working nowadays.
I need to take care of him, and that's the only way I want you at home. You got to go somewhere for 8 hours.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you, sis. I'm with you, sis. I'm just saying those are the ones that you hear those like, dang, how long y'all was married for? 8 years. So that man was home for 8 years. You took care of him for 8 years. Those you like,
that's
dang.
What's going on? Yeah, women taking care of men. That's
you like, dang. You like 10 years you did that? Those are the ones that be lasting longer than the ones that be just trying to get it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because where he gonna go? Where he gonna go?
But at what cost? I mean,
where he gonna go?
That's what they want to do. They want to be taken care of. Now, don't get me wrong. So I'm not saying if something happens, your husband gets sick or lose a job.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you.
But that's why I think a team. But that's why I think teamwork is in this time. We need this teamwork because things can happen, especially
we do.
Your husband can go home and something happen. You know what I mean?
Well,
somebody made the question about what define a man in Islam. Did y'all see that question? How do you what's a man according to Islam? I'll let y'all brothers answer that one.
All right, y'all answer this one first, and then we'll get back to that one.
I'm curious.
I'm curious at
Like the ones here because 30 and
I didn't see. I'm sorry, yo.
Oh,
Let me go on
wow.
this app.
What's my age? Is that what they're asking?
Well, no,
I'm
it's
curious at
more
the
so
age range
talking
of
about
these
the age, like, because you guys are kind of a little more reserved.
I'm
So they
old
say
enough to
Oh,
because
we're
chew
you're 30
younger.
and
cornbread
under,
without
you can
choking.
hear
We're
this.
like
You
22
just
to
say
like
Yo, listen, whoever asked that, they country, man. So they bred different. You know what I mean? They bred different. They
what
ain't
she
these up
said. Wait a
northerners,
minute.
man.
But
I
I'm
said I'm
country
old
too, so
enough to chew
stop.
cornbread without choking.
I think which call I think,
Okay.
in regards to her, sisters 30, us in particular, and I'm okay, I'm gonna just speak for myself. You know, we aren't particularly teaching teaching our daughters in particular how to be wives or how to look forward to being wives.
Right. That's what I said.
we
That
aren't
right.
we aren't necessarily teaching them from a very young age, and I'm not just talking about from the time that they start walking, but I'm talking about just basically just showing them, okay, when your husband comes home, you're serving him, you're cleaning, you're cooking, you're taking care of the house, you're not running the streets, you're in the home, you're teaching them the deen, things of that nature. And then once they become teenagers, you're explaining to them what's to be expected of them. And then I'm of course of the mindset of, okay, at a certain age, 15, 16, 17, my daughter's getting married. Period. There's going to be no waiting until no, you're getting married, because of course I was once upon a time her age, and I remember those feelings of wanting to get married at a young age, and I couldn't. And it was very hard. So I don't want her to go through that type of difficulty. But I remember as an adolescent watching my mother, you know, uh, in the home, even though she worked, a full-time job. When she was in the home, she was taking care of the house and she was serving her husband.
Uh-oh.
So
Here we
therefore,
go, sis.
I understood what was, what was expected of me, and I looked forward to it. I read books on it. I prepped, meals, cleaned the house, whatever you can, I did it,
I
and I
think
was looking forward to
wait,
that time
what?
where I could get
I think
married.
But a
well,
lot of the women can't teach their daughters how to be women because they weren't taught.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
A lot of these women can't teach their daughters how to be women because they weren't taught.
True, that is true. That
I
is
mean,
I
it
said
true.
comes
that.
with your upbringing.
Yeah,
I think
I
You
said
gotta
that
have you gotta
earlier.
have
I
It
said that
comes with
examples
earlier.
upbringing.
like
Every
understood.
men
part
have
of
to have
women
great
was
examples
born
of
up in
men
this.
to
Of
become
men.
great men.
Right. I said that. That's what I was trying to get at earlier. That's what we need, and we
And I learned a long time ago, Islam do not create great men and women.
I don't agree
Why
with
not?
that at all, and I'm saying that because
Why
I think
why
I
not?
think it's where you come
Taking the
from. I was
Shahada don't make
raised.
you no great man.
No, I
Oh
was
no, you
raised
gotta
We have
learn.
to
You
in
gotta learn
in.
that.
aspire.
Okay, I
I
We have
was
to
got you.
raised
aspire to be great men and women. This is
in
I
why
a
we
got
read
you.
mission.
the
Every
Sirah.
part of that, we were taught how to be a woman, how to be a wife. That was installed in us. And I think at some point when you were saying that Islam or anything is not teaching you how to be a man or a woman, at what point do you stop and say, I need help? Let me go to the next shit and find an old
Well,
head
wait,
or
wait,
anything to
wait.
help
All right,
me.
hold on. This is why I know I keep forgetting this. The question was asked about what makes a man. I want to ask y'all just from the sisters, right?
Mhm.
Who is the man that's responsible? And what defines that man? What
Say again.
defines
I'm
What
that
do
sorry.
man?
you
That
mean by
man in
who is
our
the man
lives
responsible?
particularly, or
What do you mean when you ask about who is the
Because
man?
you're saying man, what man is responsible? Who's the responsible man?
I mean, it depends on the situation.
Because usually when it's spoken about, it's only referring to the husband. The
but it's
man
the
that's
father.
responsible for your first man, the
Is your
responsibility for you
father?
is your father. Now,
Mhm.
if we keep coming from broken homes, you miss that. And so
Yeah,
then what happens is the first thing that happens, the first sign of trouble, what are you going to say? You're not a real what?
man.
Man.
A real man. And you're not basing it on anything. You're basing it on what your idea of what a real man is.
Mhm.
This is why,
Right.
honestly, we can talk to children until we blue in the face, but they gotta see it.
you gotta lead
You
by example.
Right.
child to
Gotta lead by
pray
example.
all day, but if you ain't praying, they're not gonna follow you. A 2-year-old will mimic you in
Exactly.
Salat before they even understand what they're doing.
Exactly.
Right.
So why we having this problem? This is why we have this problem we have here. People don't know. We should have changed. We should have named this something else. We should have said, what are the roles of men and women? Something like that. Versus, because we're saying the roles of men, we're going to the root of the problem, honestly. We getting right to the root. We ain't even getting to the idealistic type of philosophy. I don't know if y'all agree with me or not, but
because this is the solution, bro. This ain't the nitpick. This the solution, brother.
We're not romanticizing it.
Yeah, this is the solution. We coming up with the problem. We already. I mean, the solution. We already know what the problem is, bro. We know what the problem is.
This question with the person, this person right here, about what part of the sunnah is that? Now, I can honestly, I think they misunderstood what we were saying.
I think so too. I think they were saying that they thought that the man was like a work from home type of husband.
No.
Just want him in the house. This was a man who wasn't providing financially. He was kept.
Just sitting at home all day watching soccer.
He was the kept one.
Just chilling.
Playing 2K. Playing 2K.
Watching the bum.
Yeah, because Amir, y'all brothers, it's just because of the hadith related something like that, where there was a brother that masjid, and Rasul asked who is this, and they were saying who he was. He was here. So he said, who taking care of his family? And he's like, everybody like looking like he's at the masjid. He's like, well, give him some firewood, something like that. Do you know that hadith?
Yeah, and that's the motivate.
As it relates to this right here. Income. Yeah, so as it relates to here, we're not saying that, but she said, I don't want a man at home all day. Mean a man is just there, not doing anything, not because he's working, just there, just not doing anything. He
the house husband.
That's that's what she's talking about. It's not saying that.
But if you look at this too, that same hadith you're quoting, it wasn't a no shade thrown at that man. It was a lesson to be learned for the people that were present and the man himself. Oftentimes we have this thing where we throw a lot of shade at people. You know what I'm saying? And we don't get the best results. You don't get the best results. You get more rebellion. You understand what I'm saying? So this is something that's important. We have to keep that in mind. I can't emphasize it enough. We have to refer back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I didn't come up with this plan, how and do my thing. It was from Islam. I looked at Islam and this is what I wanted. That's and you have to want it like that. There's another question. Sisters.
And to add on that hadith as well, it also spoke about the man begging as well.
Yep.
Begging too.
Sisters. How can I encourage my wife to cover when she's going through a struggle with it, without coming off like I'm pressuring her or being extreme? I want to support her and be patient, but I don't want to encourage haram. How do I approach this topic with her?
Buy her some new clothes.
Take her shopping.
Remind her of death. Remind her of the actor. Remind her that there will be, consequences to her not covering. Teach her. Have conversations with her. Have her listen to lectures. And
that's what's wrong.
Also have her get used to covering. Eventually you get used to it. The sooner she covers, the better. The more she covers, the better. But tell her that there are consequences for her not covering. And you don't have to be harsh about it. You can teach her. You can have her watch videos. You can have her read books. You can have her be around other Muslim women of like nature who are also covered, so that they can also encourage her, not by just talking to her, but by showing her, It doesn't have to be a hardship at all.
What's the struggle? Because the question also that she's going through something, is it some sort of the question I want to ask, is it some sort of mental issue? Is it some sort of finance issue? Is it anything like that? Because then you have to approach it with that. How you got to learn how to deal with the situation.
That's another issue. She might not.
That's another issue. A lot of men ain't teaching and leading their wives.
Yeah, but let's talk about the question at hand. He said that she's going through a struggle. She's going through something.
Could just be a struggle.
No, he said she's going through a struggle with it, meaning covering, I believe.
Oh, covering. Okay, I'm forgetting. Encouraging my wife to cover. She's going through a struggle with it without coming off as pressure.
And also, it could be also be if she knew Shahada,
Yeah.
You know,
Right, or
because
never
again,
covered.
you gotta understand, new shahada. It's the whole way. It's a new way. It's a new
Mm-hmm.
way of learning, a new way of life. You know, and
Yeah.
being black women, you know, we like getting our hair done.
Yeah.
Don't touch
Yeah.
the hair. You know, we like that. And so it took a lot of us had to get to the habit of saying, you know what, being lit covered is for my Lord. It's better, you know. And also, like this is saying, remind her of the rewards of covering. Remind her that, you know, also other sisters, you know, that cover. Is she around other
Exactly.
sisters that
Have
don't
her
cover?
exactly like
That can
company,
help her. You know,
Right.
and to encourage us, okay, honey, how about, you know, we go pick out a nice hijab. It doesn't have, it could
Exactly.
be a nice, you choose your hijab, let's pick this out. You know,
Her
start
loneliness
the
is
process
definitely being
off. You know,
hypocrite.
if
She's
she's not ready to be niqab down, okay, let's start with a nice hijab. You know, let's get this hijab and wear this, you know, and it progresses. And
So this
just, you
right
know,
here,
it
Oh,
shows
listen to the
um,
show what he said.
yeah.
There you
right
go.
here,
That's
this
why I
it
said it. It
says
had to be something. It had
Yeah,
to
she
be
has low
something.
used to
aiming.
cover
Here's the thing,
got
you know,
low
what you
man.
call it? You
Hold on
can
one second. Hold on one second. Let me read the
oh,
question
here it
first.
is.
Yeah, she used to cover. She got low man. It says she doesn't want to be a hypocrite. She's been Muslim many years and recently got married. And she says she wants to cover, but she isn't there yet. The thing is
He's
this.
going through something. I mean, so
Not only that, but the
Sounds like a
reality is
conflict.
we take shahada in order to protect ourselves in the akhirah. That's the main thing.
exactly.
right.
All of these things lead back to it. You don't you don't want to die in a state of disobedience. This is what Allah Ta'ala is telling you. Don't die except as a state submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, you know, don't be like a become like an annoyance, but at the same time, keep encouraging. And you can't worry about being a
Right.
hypocrite because one sin ain't gonna make another sin better.
You also have to
Exactly.
realize is that her being afraid of being a hypocrite, that's Imam right there. That's her
Right.
being
Yeah,
fearful.
it
Right.
So
That's
is.
what I was
you have
saying.
It
to,
It
is.
had to be
talk to her
something. Yeah, it had
and,
to
you
be
know, let her know
something.
this is a trick of the shaitan and basically trying to
Sis,
convince you not to cover because you're afraid of being a hypocrite. Cover.
And,
I
Start from
don't know if
somewhere.
she's
Start covering and build
and,
up onto it until
and
you get to where you need to be. Build on it. The one thing that of course I'm teaching my daughter, you know, from the very time that she could walk, she was garbed up. Because the one thing that I want her to do is when she goes out here one day is to uncover. And if she ever does come uncovered, she's gonna feel so naked and so uncomfortable that she'll put her guards back on. And that's a reminder for her to you know, reset, get back on your deen, do what you need to do, study, get closer to Allah. So it's a reminder, you know. So if she
and
just starts
also
there, it'll help her.
Mhm.
and
and
bro,
also
my advice. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry, sis. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, and also whatever it is, just, you know, seek Toba from Allah, forgive yourself, and move on. Much that stuff from Shaitan. Move on. Don't allow whatever it was that may have caused you to stop. Just say, seek refuge in Allah. I mean, seek refuge in Allah and ask Allah to forgive you, and just move on. Just keep moving on. Don't stop.
All right.
Just
All
And,
keep
right.
and
So
my
going.
now look,
hold on. Can I just
we're in
add
the
in real
last just
fast?
1 second. Last 20
Mm-hmm.
last 20 minutes of the program. So make sure you
Oh wow.
rapid fire. Say what y'all gotta say, wrap it up, your words of encouragement,
Yeah.
departures, whatever.
Welcome to the Solly Show.
Nah,
You can't even say what's going on. Who said that? Who said that?
You already know who.
Whoever said that, if they in my Arabic class, they getting an F. They getting an F. I'm being petty. Every letter you say, every letter you say, but
Everybody,
no,
thank
that
you
ain't how
for
you say it.
tuning in to the
That ain't
Solly
how you
Show.
say it.
Like, share, subscribe.
Sister Malika, you won't get an F, girl. Stop.
But my advice to you, bro, is that go back to romance. You know, go with her for
Yeah.
Jumu'ah. You know, you wear your best
Yeah.
robe and be like, yeah, you know, and just be like, yeah, I would like you to wear this. You know, you treat Jumu'ah like a day just for y'all two. Y'all go to the
Yeah.
masjid, y'all go eat, and just build romance on that. And when she see you constantly in a thobe too, and you treating this day specially for y'all two, then, you know, inshallah ta'ala, you know, she'll go into it because it'll show that you care just as much as, and you know, about yourself with her too. So just treat,
Exactly.
just go back and romance. Buy her a nice overgarment. But look, we're gonna wear this to Jumu'ah, and then we're gonna go out here. We're gonna go out to eat. Make her
Take it out
feel
on a
good.
date. It's gonna cost
Yeah,
you a
make her
couple
feel good.
dollars. It's gonna
Yeah, I
cost you
mean,
a
it's
couple
worth it
dollars to
though.
take out, keep it, make her wear hijab. She
Yeah,
gonna
it's
look
worth
good.
it. I mean, it's worth it.
That's good. Mashallah. Mashallah. Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
next person,
Any other
rapid
questions?
fire.
I do. Do you guys feel like do you guys feel like the issue of the roles is a Muslim issue or an African American Muslim issue? Because a lot of times I hear men and women compare, us to Arab women or Arab men or other cultures and ethnic groups. So do you feel like this is a Black Muslim issue of these roles?
African American
African
Muslim
American, yeah.
issue.
Do you think
Yeah.
that's the issue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
think
you gotta
that's a
Most
understand,
definitely.
a lot of us didn't grow up with two-parent households. A lot of us didn't have that leader that guidance. Um, so yeah, we can on that maybe it's a disadvantage for us, but also coming into the religion, we can't just keep using that as a crutch not to do either, because we have the Quran, we have the Sunnah, the Hadith to read, and like the sister said, if you're blessed to be in a community where you have the elders, seek out your elder sisters and brothers. That's what they're there for. You know, um, ask questions. Seek that guidance out. You know, like I said, we just can't keep using that. Oh, I'm a Black American Muslim. You can't keep using that as a crutch not to do or not to do better. That's my opinion.
Exactly.
That's true.
Next person, rapid fire.
I ain't got nothing to say. Saleh took it all.
Yo, you gonna get an F. You keep playing, you gonna get an F.
Next person.
You gonna get
Well,
an
I
F.
would say
Keep
this.
playing
I
with
would
me.
say this. Being Muslim, being married, we gotta stop looking at this thing as a tug of war type thing, because our roles are there to give us a guidance of how we're supposed to be and things that we're supposed to do if we follow it. It's not something for sisters. Don't look at, oh, I gotta obey my husband, I gotta be a slave. It's not that. It's not, don't look at it like that. Stop looking at these things as something bad, because for all these things the Lord has reserved for us as women is for our benefit.
Wait, hold up.
It's
I
to help
just want
us.
to test something out here. Are you
Mhm.
subservient to your husband?
I try to be.
Look, y'all pause. Y'all pause
I
too long.
am.
You ain't come
I
out and
am.
say
I
yes.
am.
You
I
I
pause.
said,
am.
wait a
I
minute.
am.
I
I
said
am.
I
If you
try
say
to be.
submissive, subservient, that changes everything. Y'all be like, what?
I,
What?
No,
What?
I'm
hey.
saying no. I'm saying I try to be. I'm not. I try to be. I don't try to be. No, I ain't. No, I try to be. I do. And
I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just messing with y'all.
oh,
You know
okay.
that's
I'm
what
not
the
being
black woman's
honest. No,
kryptonite. You use that S word, she start sweating. You know what I mean? Start
I
turning
I
into
don't have
Margaret
an
I
issue with
Thatcher.
think
You
that. To
feel
be
we
me?
honest,
I think we have an issue with that word because of course we of course put it in line with slavery and
slavery.
servitude.
Yeah.
And of course I think we do the same thing when it comes to being servants to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
don't like to bend. Our nafs just doesn't like to bend. But just to give my closing statements and to piggyback off of what Sister Nasira was saying, I think we just need to go back to our roots. And of course, if we studied more in regards to the Sarah and in regards to, past prophets, as well as, our uh, you know, Prophet Adam and Prophet Hawa, and, the reason that we were created in the first place was to
Mhm.
provide tranquility and comfort to our husbands, then it will kind of
Mhm.
like put it in perspective to us. And it's not as if we're serving our husbands, we're serving Allah, we're serving our we're serving our Lord, by way of our husbands. There are our footsteps into Jannah. We're,
Amen.
in order to get to Jannah, just as though in regards to our mothers, they were our footstools into Jannah. Our husbands
Right.
are now our footstools into Jannah. So if you put it into perspective, it makes it a little bit more easier. And sometimes we have to fight our mouths when our husband tells us something to do that's against what we're used to doing or what we want to do.
Right.
But we have to
Right.
realize is that by disobeying him, it may anger our Lord. And that's very serious. We have to, find a way to not show ingratitude, and to be able to kind of like um, revert back to how our mothers in Islam, dealt with these situations.
All right.
And if we use them as examples, we'll be able to get through whatever it is that, that's holding us back. But we got to remember that the shaitan is in fact the enemy to us, and that he is there playing on us and studying us even when we're asleep. So we have to be mindful of these things as we go through our marriages and as we, raise our children. So that was it, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Next person.
Saleh, you got anything else you need to say?
Nope.
Yo, you gonna get an F. You keep playing with me. You jumped up this trick.
I see Muhammad cut the camera on. You want to go last, Muhammad, because you're gonna give us those nice long Sufi duos, the du'as of the Sufiya. Where you at, Muhammad?
He done going to sleep.
He's sleeping in that chair.
I don't even know who had been talking, man. I've been moving.
He been asleep.
Bathroom, locking doors, all that.
I guess I think it's one more. No, okay.
Any questions?
No, it don't look like it. Let me see if we got any comments from the watchers, the viewers. I got one request though, that y'all like, subscribe, share. Share this content. So the algorithm, because these topics are a little different from what's being pushed out there. And the more you share it, people listen to it, it opens people's minds. It opens people's minds because that's why it's all about the solutions. It's in order to change, redirect things. Because we've been doing the same thing for a long time. Now it's time to start doing changing it, which is requiring more action. Requiring more action, putting things into practice. And we're not going to see anything change if we're not doing a few things. Number one, learning. Number two, keeping company with each other, with the righteous. And the righteous people congregate at the masjid. We have to become more, in that realm, of being amongst each other, keeping company. Sometimes a phone call will do for some people, but you have to make it physically, eat together. People's heart ain't buying, people ain't eating together. People aren't doing things together. Everybody's staying in their own little corner. People can't even have a conversation without it going left. Just get together, focus on, and do things. Be goal-oriented people.
It's expensive. It's expensive to eat in small pots now.
Hey man, listen, the good brother been looking out for us for years, man. I still patronize the good brother. I just haven't been over that way. But
you're saying about how we need to be around each other more with the blessed month of Ramadan coming. That's a good time to get to make those salat at the masjid, stand for Taraweeh. It builds that bonding with the law, but also one another to know you're not by yourself. You're not alone.
So who cooking?
You.
Whoa.
You.
I'm gonna need a plate.
You.
I'm gonna send my food FedEx.
Sister Malika,
you gonna have to email us something, or you gonna.
I cook all the time. I ain't tripping. I'm gonna have to send the FedEx.
There you go.
No, we'll wait till you come back down this way. Hello.
I don't know. Philly kind of rough.
Saleh, where you at, Saleh?
Yep, I'm here. What's going on, Phil?
Come on, man. Give us final 5 minutes, and then Muhammad take over and close us out.
I just want to say I appreciate all y'all coming up here, especially the sisters, man. If you hear us, going back and forth, these, like I said, man, these are my brother's wives. I love them to death. Even though Malika, she on my heels, she owe me an extra large coffee now. You know what I'm saying? It's a Starbucks.
I ain't gonna buy your Starbucks. It's somebody else's turn.
I can't afford Starbucks.
Yeah, I love them. Like I said, some of them are my Arabic students. I love them to death. But for everybody, man, we just gotta, we gotta just work together, man. We gotta come up, with just, building families, and working together, and stop kicking each other while we down. This is one of the biggest issues in our communities. As soon as someone down, we like keeping them down. You know, we're not good at uplifting each other. You know, especially in our marriages. You know, we got to stop using our tongues as weapons, but using our tongues for encouragement. You know, once we do that in these marriages, we'll see. You know, the barakah coming from everywhere in these marriages. You know, and don't be scared. You know, you know that hardship is going to come with it. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He's going to test us with all these type of things, but give good tidings to those with patience. We got to be patient. And, you know, we lack that. You know, we have that I need it now mentality. So be patient, and, you know, and just work together. You know, and you know, and just, you know, continue to grow Islamically and spiritually, and inshallah ta'ala we get to where we need to be to. That's it.
Ameen.
Amen.
Come on, close this out, beloved. Closing statements and du'as.
Muhammad.
He went back to sleep.
He ain't even bothered to mute it this time.
I ain't sleep. All right, so my closing statement.
That was Shalir's statement right there, y'all. Abdullah's statement. Your advice could be applied to marriage with all relationships. Alhamdulillah. All right, go ahead, Shay.
Yeah, my closing statements is that all of us, myself first, in learning Islam, we must live Islam, right? And we must live Islam. We already had the blueprint. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already laid everything out. We ain't doing nothing, nothing new. We ain't reinventing the wheel. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed us how to do this thing. All we got to do is do it, and be dedicated to it, and be committed to it, and be committed to change, and be committed to raising these children, this next generation, because all us old heads now, right?
Right.
Saleh gonna be an old head in the next 5 years. You mean so?
That's 5 years.
He's gonna be an old head in the next 5 years.
That's
so
5 years though. I got time.
So the generation of our sons and our daughters, that's who them are the leaders in the masjid. I mean, those are the ones who are teaching the next hafiz to grow up, teaching the next faqiz, teaching the next muhaddithin. I mean, you know, these are the jobs. These are what we're obligated to do. We're obligated to spread the deen, and we're obligated to pass it down. We're trying to gain sadaqah jariyah to where it's gonna help us in the grave, or we done left behind. All of us leave a legacy. We either leaving a legacy of learning, we either leaving a legacy of teaching, or we leaving a legacy of building. Which we'll say which course are we gonna take? You know, so this is our roles as men and women as Muslims, right? So subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin birahmatika arhamar rahimin wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulil kareem. Ameen. Remember, like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share it onto your platform, share it onto your pages, share it into your groups, and spread the love. Spread the love. Islam is about love. Islam is about peace. Islam is about structure and guidance. So let's live it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.